Hello, Wildkard. My name is Wildkard. Welcome back to my channel. United Rugby Championship semi-finals. Stromers versus Ulster in South Africa. The beautiful stadium. Man, that's like a new stadium for you guys. It looked quite nice. I don't recognize it. And yeah, I am not a Stormers fan, to be honest. I hate the Stormers, but man, that performance was a lot of guts. I have respect for the Stormers for that performance. That was exceptionally just bold, brave men, 14 men on the field, winning the game in extra time. They had plenty of opportunity to take the soft option, to go for 3. No. These men wanted to score a try. They were determined to win the game with a try. 40 minutes, you could say, they probably spent on trying to get that try. And yeah, they got it in extra time. 43 minutes in the second half. And man, you have to respect that. That is just mental toughness. That is why we watch rugby. That is why I love rugby. No soft options, no kicking for 3 points, and praying the gods for an easy win. You gotta fight. You gotta fight till the end and win the game. And I respect that for the Stormers. And also, the referee, Mike Adamson. I think we're starting to realize Mike Adamson has no spatial recognition. He cannot tell whether something is forward or backwards or up or down. He's just taking a guess what's happening on the field at times. Obviously, that 4-pass try, I think everybody in the world can see that's a forward. When your winger is reaching out like a foot, 3 feet in front of him, right? Try to catch the ball. I don't know how much more obvious he has to be to that. But then again, right? I'm Australian. I've seen a deliberate knock-on from the Welsh team forward, and Mike Adamson said it was knocked back. He was on the field, prime position, saying it was knocked back. Anyway, deliberate knock-on, like the most blatant deliberate knock-on. And Mike Adamson has no spatial recognition. Just wondering, maybe this guy can't drive, Like, how do you drive when you have no spatial recognition? Do you just, like, I don't know, like, run into things? You have, like, those bumpers. You just put, like, tape foams around your car, so, like, if you bump into things, it's gonna be okay. I don't know. How do you drive? You have no spatial recognition. Mike Adamson. But, yeah, outside of that, this was a game where Ulster, I thought, did have some really good highlights. Billy Burns, a guy that was criticized a couple years ago for, like, losing the Six Nations, oh my god, the sky's fallen, to actually a really good performance this game. His kicking game was really good. He was one of the guys who was able to spark a lot of opportunity for Ulster. He set up the 2, tries as well for the Ulster team. Also, he was able to do a lot of those little kicks behind, where there was one point where he literally did, like, a chip behind. He regathered it, chip again to beat another defender, regathered it again. That was talent, man. That's, no matter what you say about Billy Burns and how much you hate him, he is actually growing a lot better since like a couple years ago, at least. So this game I watched, I was really impressed by Billy Burns' performance. Just, really good handling of the game. No, like, just good kicking game. They clearly had a game plan with the kicking game as well, and he just followed it to the dot, or quite well. For the Stormers, did I say Bulls? For the Stormers, I haven't watched the Stormers this year, because obviously the time difference, it's a bit difficult for me, but I was really impressed with Valemsa. I thought he plays for a fullback, like a utility fullback, off the bench for the Springboks, and he hasn't really impressed me that much, like, towards the end of last season. But man, he was really good today. At inside center on 12 jersey, he looked like visibly got bigger as well. I haven't seen him for a while, obviously. He looked visibly bigger. His attacking game has been good, really good footwork, being able to do that offload. Maybe a little bit more bulk will help him a bit more in the inside center position. And also, he was really good at the breakdown as well. Like, as an inside center, being able to get those breakdown turnovers for your team, quite good. So I was really impressed by the development of Damien Valemsa in that regards as well. Obviously, the Stromers were also stacked with a lot of Springbok front rowers as well. The Obviously, Vermeulen playing for the number 8 in the yellow jersey looked quite good. 1 point, almost lost the game for the Stormers, but he was on the field. And the what else is in the Stormers side? I thought the Evan Rules. I haven't seen him play much before. I think I saw him play like last year, maybe like briefly. I can't even remember if he was him or not. In the South Africa like A team. Tell me if he was in there. I thought I saw him there. Marvin Ori really starting to tick along quite well as well in the lock position. And then Herschel Yanshi's doing quite well at the breakdown. There's a little bit of controversy as well on the field. Ulster was using this little bit of a exploit in the game at the moment where the halfback gets the ball out. Instead of like you can't slap the ball out of the halfback's hand. But it is not illegal to grab his hand or grab his arm. So we've seen this done quite a few times. Ulster, Yanshi's gets the ball out. One of the Ulster players just grabs him by the hand, and then he obviously drops the ball, right? You're holding the ball with your hand, like he drops the ball. I think there should be a law change to that. That's just disruptive, and it really doesn't do anything. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that, to be honest. It's the same as, there used to be a thing, like maybe 10 years ago, maybe longer. A lot of you guys probably don't even know this, where players use this thing where they sneakily put their hand over the ball just before the halfback's about to throw the ball out, pick the ball up. So a lot of times you see like, so you've seen like, back then there used to be a thing where, like, say the ball's in the ruck, the halfback is reaching through and he's put his hand on the ball, about to take the ball out. And what players used to do is they put their hand out and then they put it between the ball and the halfback's hand, so like just on top of the ball, not touching it. So when the halfback takes the ball out, he knocks on the ball. And technically you haven't done anything, you're just putting your hand in like in the space. Right? You're not actually touching the ball or touching the halfback. But that's deemed illegal. That law was changed to be illegal to do that anymore. So that stopped. I think this should be something similar. You can't just like, as halfback gets the ball out, slaps him grabs him by the forearm, and makes him knock on the ball. From standing in the ruck, especially. It's not like someone who's making a tackle. You're in the ruck, you reach out and grab his hand. That should be illegal. I think they should change that as well. There was, another man I thought did really well for Ulster is Henderson. He was tremendous for Ulster, all over the place in the breakdowns. The lineouts was really good. Ulster was really good at defending as well. There was probably a bit too much kicking this game for me, especially from the Ulster side, but I can understand they're trying to manage the game, trying to put the Stormers in a position to attack from a distance, especially when they were under the pump later on. That was probably a strategy they were doing, but maybe I felt like when the Ulsters did run the ball, when Billy Burns did attack, it looked quite threatening. I thought they should have done a bit more of that. The Stormers, obviously, in the second half, had a red card 10 minutes before the last time. They were chasing the game. Having a play in the bin was really, really not good. To me, I think it was just stupid by the player, to be honest. Basically, there was like a more, there was more. Henderson was in the maul, standing, like, he was the receiver of the ball. He was like standing up, popping like right up in the maul. The Stormers number 19, I don't know this guy. He was like trying to reach over to get to disrupt the maul. He was like just behind him. He's a lock from the Stormer side, and then he's trying to push Henderson away, but he ended up just like pushing up on his face with his hands like this, and it looked like an eye gouge. Yeah, like that's a red card. That's just silly. You shouldn't don't touch someone's face. No touching off the hair of the face. Come on, that's the rule. Okay, everything goes except the touching of head, touching of the face or the hair. Okay, so yeah, that was a bit stupid. I thought red card, really soft red card. I don't think he had any intention of injuring or eye gouging Henderson, but it was just, yeah, no touching of the head or the face, mate. Remember that. So overall, the stats, we can have a look at this. The Stormers 17 points to 15. Ardre Smith gets red card on the 17th minute. Yep. So this no points scored for 40 minutes in the second half. So that tells you how tight the game was in the second half. All the points, it was 10 points to 15 at half time. I was surprising that Ulster was ahead. This was a home crowd for the Stormers. 402 run meters for the Stormers. Ulster's 184 at full times. Like, look, the kicking from Ulster's 28 kicks from hand. Stormers only kicked 17 times. So Stormers obviously chasing the game, more than happy to attack. But Ulster's, I thought there was way too much kicking, a bit too much. Especially there was a lot of them were a little bit pointless. there was some good kicking from Ulster, like being able to ping the Stormers down in their own half sort of thing. But without that dominant, line out or anything like that, the Stormers were able to, exit quite easily. Not able to put too much pressure from this out of those kicks. So the possession, Stormers had a bit more possession, 57-43. Territory, 61 Stormers to the 39. And I think the one last thing we wanted, turnovers considered, Stormers 15 turnovers. There was a lot of sloppy mistakes this game, surprisingly, both at the breakdowns and a lot of handling errors as well for both teams. So it's 15 for the Stormers, probably, especially in the second half, it was getting really frustrating at one point where the Stormers kept on missing out the opportunities inside the Ulster's 22. Ulster's considered 8 turnovers overall. The tackle count, this was probably, both teams has really good tackle count. 97 tackles, only 84 completion, 87 completion rate for the Stormers, 144 tackles made for Ulster's, 130 completed, so only 14 missed tackles for Ulster. So that's like both teams had really high completion rate, which is really good. Penalty count pretty even overall, 9 against the Stormers, 10 against Ulster. There were so many opportunities Stormers could have kicked for 3 points going in the second half, but the Stormers just went, nah, we're going to go for the lineouts. LeBoc missed all of his kicks except for the one that was needed the most for the win, which was really like it was really tight for that finish as well. It was not an easy kick, quite a bit of an angle. He gets it sneaked through just between the post on the right hand side post for the win. So let's have a look at some of the quick stuff, some of the highlights in the game. So like Stormers came out really good, looking like spectacular. 5 minutes of the game, Stormers gets a penalty, the kick the ball out, sets up a line out for a more, and this more just like just destroys the Ospreys. Like it's just like really good setup platform. You kind of like stopped at the beginning. You thought the Ulster was able to already stopped it, but the Stormers just like gather their strength and just rumble through for a really try. And then you can tell Mike Adamson is drunk or something, or his spatial recognition is off. This try was scored, right? Mike Adamson runs under the sticks. He's running towards the stick like he was giving a penalty try. And then he goes back and says, oh, no, it's not a penalty try, it's just a normal try. Yeah. Mike Adamson, maybe you need to get your head checked. I don't know what's going on. He was like, yeah, penalty try. And then he runs back. No, just the normal try. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Anyway, that was really weird. On the 13th minute, there was a again, the Stormers again showing the set piece has really good set piece and earlier in the game. So they went for a line out. The line out kind of goes long to Roos. Roos loose back into the 5-meter track. He pops the ball to Yangshis on the sideline. Yangshis runs down the sideline, pops the ball back to Evan Roos, runs in for the second try for the Stormers. And suddenly the Stormers are up 10 points to 0, 17 minutes into the game. It doesn't take that long for Ulster to come back. On the 24th minute, the Ulster was doing that loophole thing where they grab the people play by their arm. And even the commentator was saying this shouldn't be allowed. 2 minutes later, Billy Burns was doing some magic. He chips over. He does a little chip kick over. And then he regathers the ball. And then he chips over again. Literally in the same sequence of play. And he regathers the ball again for like literally like a 40-meter gain of this run by Billy Burns' individual performance alone. And then after this run, the Ulster recycles the ball. Again, the ball comes out to Billy Burns. Billy Burns throws to the fullback, number 15, gets the ball. He throws the forward pass. Is this the forward pass one? No. Yeah, he throws the forward pass. Everybody in the world sees the forward pass. The referee's on the field saying, looks flat to me. And he tells it says on-field decision try. Only the replay starts showing till the referee goes to the TMO, says, hey, can you check that for me? And obviously the TMO is not going to overrule the decision on the field with a very, with its camera angles and stuff. TMO goes, oh, no clear evidence of a forward pass. Which is the right decision by TMO, by the way, because the TMO has to have very clear, obvious, it's really, like, difficult for TMO to overrule an on-field decision when the referee says it was not a forward pass. So, instantly the Ulster gets back 5 points to to 10, and everybody start booing this kick, and the kicker slips, so the kick didn't get through. It hits the goalpost, and then also was doing some really good defense following this. On the 27th minute, once again Billy Bones setting up this try. He gets the ball. He just runs, takes on the defensive line. He gets rushed a bit as well. Just nice wide long pass, cut out pass to the winger in the center on outside field. The winger steps in. He was what's his name? Robert Balogun. He scored the first try, and he gets the ball on the wing. He runs back in, one-handed offload to Stuart Moore, goes in for the second try for the Ulsters. Suddenly Ulsters gets this conversion. It's up 12 points to 10, and then the game gets a bit sloppy. The Bulls had not Bulls. The what do you call it? The Stormers had a lot of opportunities. Had a lot of opportunities. So on the 33rd minute, there was again Mike Adamson. Clearly, the number 9 gets tackled without a ball from the Herschel Yankees get tackled without a ball, and the referee says penalty, you can't tackle the 9, and he sticks his hand the wrong way, like it was an Ulster penalty, and everyone's like, come on, mate, we know you're a bit drunk, but surely you know which. He doesn't know left and right. He doesn't know which direction. Now, how did this guy drive a car? I don't know. He was just like, wrong arm is actually a Stormers penalty. So on the 37th minute, the Bulls had the Stormers had a really good opportunity to score a try. They were put a lot of sustained pressure inside the Ulster's 22, and this must be like 10 maybe phases later. The Stormers wasn't getting a penalty advantage, wasn't getting, I thought it was just building good pressure, to be honest. They throw the ball out, LeBoc decides to do a drop goal, and he missed right in front. I thought this was a wasted opportunity, absolutely wasted opportunity. 37 minutes, they should have just at least gone for a penalty. Like, if you're this close to the try line, you need to get a penalty or get a try. You can't, or get a penalty advantage before you take a drop goal. You can't just do a drop goal this close to the try line. It's just such a waste. So he misses the drop goal, and then this was like prime opportunity wasted. And sure enough, on the rebound, the Ulster was able to get inside the Stormers half, and Stormers gets penalized for, there was a line out. One of the players gets penalized for throwing a player across in the line out. There's a few of this line has been penalized for this. A player gets thrown across, and Ulster kicks 3 points. Going halftime, Ulster's leading 15 points to 10. And second half, this was just sheer grit and determination of a second half game. So the game second half started. Both teams was doing a bit of kicking, bit of back kicking at the start. You can really see that Ulster is kind of like slowing down. They're like trying to just run the clock down already, like right away from the second half. So on the 50th minute, Billy Bones was again trying to spark something for the team, but the Randall team was not really able to follow up. He set up a nice little run. He kicked it through, and then basically like there was some really good linkage. The Ulster was just like, in the danger zone. The Stormers are scrapping for defense. Ulster has support everywhere, and instead of just like pass the ball or holding onto the ball, even just you're inside the 22, maybe 15 meters out, Ulster's player decides to just grab a kick into the sideline. Like they're just happy to ping the Stormers players for a 5-meter line out. I was so surprised by this, and he just literally grabber kicked it for a 5-meter line out for the Stormers to take. I was like, what? I thought that was such a waste. They should just at least run the ball. And that was just, it was really, I'm sure the strategy, you can tell, is to ping the Stormers inside their own 22. But with this opportunity, you just made a line break. You are, with the momentum, kicking it out for a 4-meter line out when the Stormers are still like half the team is not even on site. It was just really poor, I thought. So, and then following this, or after this, what happened, there was after this, on the 55-minute, Ulster did have one opportunity to go for a try. They could have kicked for 3 here, to be fair. They were like giving multiple penalties at this point. They decided, they felt the momentum. They felt like they could go for 3. I thought this was the right decision, even though they didn't get the try. But I thought this was the right decision. They kicked the ball out for 5-meter line out. They get so close, and they got knocked on. And then there was a lot of opportunities from this one forward for the Stormers to kick for 3 points, and I was just like applauding that Stormers didn't go for the 3, went for the hard work. Was really, really good. On the 63rd minute, there was a lot of like just small mistakes back and forward. So on the 63rd minute, the Stormers gets an opportunity for a penalty. Again, a kickable penalty right in front. Stormers goes for a line out, and they kick the ball dead. That was so painful. I was like face palming so hard when I saw this. On the 63rd minute, Stormers once again inside the Ulster's 22 attacking. They had an opportunity to kick for another 3. No, they went for another 5-meter line out. They went for a 5-meter scrum. The ball comes out. They start crashing the ball. Stormers and Vermeulen did his job as a traitor. Turns the ball over at the breakdown, and Stormers missed another prime opportunity to score points. I was like, wow, it was just like shaking my head at this point, at my point. And then not long after this, on the 70th minute, eye gouge occurred. The Stormers number 19, Andre Smith, gets red carded. Yeah, so this was looking like Stormers. It's a game for the Stormers it's a game for Ulster to lose. There was some good kicking pressure from the Stormers following this on the 72nd minute. On the 74th minute, another kickable penalty. Not gonna kick that. Stormers goes for another 5-meter line out. The ball looked really good. It was going rumbling forward. Eventually, the ball gets tackled, and it was just, you can't see where the ball is, to be honest. You can't see where the ball is. And the referee said that was a maul, and surely that was illegal collapsing or something, but the referee just said, no, the ball's not coming out. Ulster scrum. I thought for sure that was an illegal collapsing. But yeah, anyway, Henderson shows his bum. Big moon from Henderson, get his pants pulled down. But yeah, I thought that was surely, that looked like an illegal collapsing more. But anyway, another opportunity lost for the Bulls. For the Stormers. I keep saying the Bulls because I'm going to do another review on the Blues after this. On the 77th minute, there was not a penalty for the Stormers. But this one could take him for 3, but this one is probably getting the clock is running, get too close to take the 3 at this point. So they go for another line out, and the line out gets stolen. 77th minute, so less than a minute left. So then they basically they go for on the 80th minute. Basically, the Stormers have the last opportunity. They're running into the Ulster's 22, just piling on pressure. Finally gets a breakdown penalty right in front. Free chance. Vermeulen gets penalized for tackling a player while he was on the ground. So on the 80th minute, and then Stormers had to make a decision here. What do they want to do? They go for a center field scrum. Now this scrum, when was reset like so many times, it was like teetering on the edge of. This was like really intense, teetering on the edge of like a penalty try here. And then the Ulster tight head prop went down cramping as well, so that did not look good for Ulster. And then in the end, the ball did come out. Stormers spreads the ball to the blind side, 2 crash balls, come back to the open side, 1 crash ball. Yankees saw the players space out wide, spreads the ball out wide. Big long pass to Warwick. Glant runs in for a try. He was pumped. He was like pushing one of the Ulster players on the ground after he scores this. The whole place was going crazy. And there was still 15 points apiece. The game hasn't won yet. Might be going to overtime. So Lebok missing all of his kicks from a pretty similar position earlier. Had to make this kick. Bit of angle. He gets this one. He gets this one slided in between the post. Yeah. That was good. That was good. Really, really good, tough rugby from the Stormers. I would really enjoy watching this one. Let me know your thoughts about this game. And thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys a bit later for the Bulls game. I'm excited. Cheers.